Dear students, in this class we will study about improved packing and packaging techniques for shelf-life improvement in horticultural crops or horticultural commodities. We will also discuss about the different primary and secondary packaging techniques and packaging materials which are required for this purpose. What materials are required in this experiment? You will need the packaging materials, the bags, crates, hampers, baskets, cartons, bulk bins, and palletized containers. And these materials are required for handling, transportation, and marketing of fresh agricultural produce. So, packaging is the initial aspect which is mandatory before the handling and transportation of horticultural produce. It is a cost intensive practice, but it will minimize the loss which occurs during the transportation shock or marketing of the fresh agricultural produce. And this, in the previous lecture, we have already discussed that it is costing about 30 to 40% of loss during this transportation and marketing phase. So, this is going to give a better management of horticulture produce. So, it is essential that packers, shippers, buyers, and consumers should be aware about the packaging materials, that which packaging materials are going to extend better shelf life of which type of horticulture produce. So, what the packaging is for any fresh produce or any processed products that will have to transported that will have to be transported to the consumer, and even in the safe and sound condition, means the quality deterioration should not be there, so that the consumer will accept it and it will remain usable. At the same time, there is another objective, that it should also be available in affordable price, so that it will be easily purchased by the consumers. What different packaging materials are? So, and what are the ideal characters of such kind of packaging materials? What should be taken care while we adopt or we use any packaging material? The first is they must be non-toxic and compatible with the specific food. Means the packaging materials that we are using, we are selecting, should not produce any toxic material, should not be able to react with the content which has been kept inside it, and it should keep it in safe condition. So that means the compatible with that food materials. Sanitary protection is the second character, means it should protect the food materials from the any kind of adulteration. So the sanitation aspect is equally important. Moisture and fat protection, as we know that the moisture interaction with the agricultural produce or horticultural produce will lead to faster respiration, will lead to faster breakdown inside the breakdown mechanism inside the fruits. So it should be free from the moisture interaction, and at the same time availability of connect of fat materials with the air will also lead to the oxidation of the fat and deterioration in the quality of the produce. So it should be airtight also, so that the fat or oil content present in this food materials will be protected. The gas and odor protection, it should not have ability to accept the gaseous or odor available in the atmosphere, so it should keep it away from the product. Light protection, also the light which is very uh, available should not impair with the shelf life of the fruits. It should not bring influence over that, because it is responsible to raise the temperature. Many products may interact with the light, so it should be sufficient to keep isolation of products from the light. It is resistance to impact. Any kind of transportation shock and mechanical injury should not damage the product inside it. So this is also important thing. Transparency, it should be transparent enough to be identified from the outside with what is the current quality status of the product. Tamper proof, any kind of injury should not damage the product. Ease of opening, should be easily opened. Powering features, means it can, the product, if it is liquid product, it can be easily poured in any other container or bottle. Size, shape and weight should be limited, so that it can be easily handled, it can be easily uh, transferred from one to another place. Reseal features, if needed it can be repacked also. So ease of disposal, the container packaging material should be either reusable or it can be decomposable. So appearance and printability, means its appearance should be well, and the information can be easily printed over that. Low cost, obviously it is the ultimate aim of any marketing practices, so that there may be maximum benefit. And specific features as per the requirement of the agricultural produce, whether it is liquid or it is some solid substance, or it is perishable or it is non-perishable. So depending on that, whether there should be sufficient modification of atmosphere or not, or there should be toughness, or there should be flexibility, these all are some specific feature as per the produce which has been packed in this. There are something very important packaging points that you have to understand, that is recyclability and biodegradability. Means the products should be usable, reusable, or it can be recycled, or it can be biodegradable. Otherwise it will cause sufficient mm, environmental pollution. The another thing is the variety, means there should be availability of wide variation for the packaging of a particular produce, so that there will be sufficient choice for the producer and seller. Sales appeal, obviously it should be attractive enough uh, to attract the consumer, so that its market value will remain good. Shelf life, means the produce that has been stored should have a good shelf life, should be maintained for longer duration of time. So you can see here that this is the local shopkeeper selling loose vegetables. Uh, uh, it is open exactly, and at this place it has been converted to the hygienic packed vegetables, so properly packed it is, so that it can be transported, it can be cooled, it can be stored in the cooled atmosphere as well. So this is the variation what is needed. Packaging, how the packaging makes the things manageable and more efficient uh, for the vendors, for the shopkeepers even. So you can see it. Packaging industry extruded nets and resell bags. So these are the resell bags or nets which can be also used, like nets can be used even for the onion, potato, garlic, ginger, and hard fruits like bear, which have a little bit protective layer on the fruits, which or even the skin of the fruits or product is a little bit more rough, right? So Russell bag will be more convenient and will be attractive enough to find the consumer. So it can be packed from 25 to 50 kg of products at farms. The containers have also been categorized in the primary and secondary or hermetic, or the containers with hermetic closure or without hermetic closure. So some materials that have efficient primary containers by nature, such as nuts, orange, eggs, and the likes. That kind of, you might have seen that they are having some well decided containers in which they, in packaging this, we generally need only a secondary outer box. So what we do, uh, a number of crates of eggs are being packed in one container. So the crates are what, the primary container, and the cartoons that are being used to pack it is the secondary outer box or secondary containers. So, or sometimes in this secondary we can do only wrapping also. So this is the, what is the difference between the primary and secondary containers, right? So hermetic closure, there are two conditions of very important in terms of the packaging, are hermetic and not hermetic closure. The hermetic closures of a container is completely impermeable to the gases and vapors throughout its entire and transportation or entire movement. Um, so on the other hand, a container which prevents entry of microorganism in many instances will be non-hermetic. So there are many uh, situation where microorganism even will not enter. So the most common hermetic containers are rigid metal cans, glass bottles. So you can open it, and you can once you will airtight it, you will close it, can't be, it will not allow the movement of gas even, and bottles like that. But you can open it, and you can power the materials, and right. So types of packaging materials, there are many types of packaging materials, and moisture resistance even there, like polythene films, polyester, PVC film, aluminum foils, lamination, cellulose film. So, and rubber related, and polythene, there are many, shrink film polythene or cling film polythene, also cellulose acetate made a little bit biodegradable, more biodegradable. Glass containers are there, so many of these. Some of them are, again, you might have seen wooden pallets, and this is the kind of base where you can put the heavy materials, and it will be helpful for delivery of the product. And it was first time used in during the World War II as an easy method for packing and transportation of the product. So even it can have 20 to 100 individual packages that can be kept over there. Another is the pallet bins. You can observe that this is this, you might have seen wooden pallet bins, which are made up of the ply, and you might have seen many fruits are being transported from this. Even it can be utilized as a secondary container also, means many packed materials can be kept inside it and can it will be easy to get transported from one place to another place. Wire bound crates, so you will observe that it is more, a little bit more safe and more strength, with more strength. The same wooden plates are going to be wired out, and it will increase the strength. So it is being used for some more precious and more you can say high value crops, like snap beans, sweet corn, and any other commodities which are passing through the hydrocooling, because after putting in this container it will be easy to go for that practice. And wire bound crates are more rigid, as I have told, and high stacking strength, and free from the effect of water. That's why after putting the products inside the wire bound crates, it is easy to go for hydrocooling. Wooden crates and lugs. It was earlier highly utilized, but now in the marketing purpose, it is not so important. But yes, in your houses, it is being just generally used on the dining table. You might have seen it, wooden lugs, which which So in the houses, you might have seen it most commonly used, and on the dining table, you will observe that these kind of lugs or crates uh, are being used for keeping fruits and vegetables as well. So earlier it was used for the long distance transportation, but now it is no more in use. Wooden baskets or hampers. So obviously the harvesters are most commonly using these kind of things, wire reinforced uh, wooden crates or basket like things, which is having sufficient hanging, you can say, facility. So the crops which are soft and which will be able to react with the containers and sometimes are utilized to be transported from this method. And strawberries and even sweet potato or the harvesters are using now this kind of crates during the time of harvesting, right? And if you will cover it with the polythene sheets, so it will be also used for the long distance transportation. Pulp containers, obviously, these are made up from the recycled paper pulp, and even it is quite biodegradable in nature. So now it is being very much in use. So you will observe that there are so many trays over which the now fruits are going to be packed, either it is tomato or apple or even berry trays. So you might have seen the kiwi fruits that are being packed even in these trays. So now it is being commonly used for the high value fruits. So the good thing is that it is available in the large number of different shapes and size, so it can be utilized for most of the fruit products and some high cost vegetable products. And the second thing is it is highly recyclable, so its use is being promoted right now. Another is paper and mesh bags. So you can use such kind of bags for transportation of any kind of materials which are easy to be transported, and there is no damage, possible damage in terms of damage over the skin. Or sometimes you can in this case you will observe that there are so many layers of covering materials in individual fruits, and even one layer will be removed, the other layer will be remain. Like you might have observed the onion. So if one layer is going to be removed, the second layer will be the productive layer. So such kind of things are. And potato, which is very um, convenient to be handled. So even cabbage is also, turnips and citrus can be easily transported, right? So sweet corns, if it is available in bulk, can be stored in this way. Otherwise it will need some sophisticated packaging materials. Here the positive thing is that it is low in cost and it is having very good air flow. So those products which is where um, air is not a problem can be easily packed. Plastic bags, yes, these polythene films, either in form of shrink film or in form of cling films, are very usable right now. And so it is now the part of modified atmosphere packaging. So why modified atmosphere packaging? Because it is going to isolate the product from completely from the outer conditions, and whatever the respiration activities are going inside will change the microclimate inside the packaging material. And so the conditions inside the packaging material will be different from the outside. So it is very effective materials. And further, the condition outside, whatever the condition is outside, it is not going to damage the product out from the inner side. In terms of the gaseous only, no temperature factor, gaseous contamination will be completely avoided. Temperature effect may be there. So it is now the new trends. Even the even in the marriages also you might be seeing that it is the way through which the gifts of fruits are going to be carried to the marriages or any other functions. So it is shrink film is the most commonly useful because it takes you can minimize the area space, also you can pack it in the proper way. So it will have a wrapping effect equally. So many fruits and vegetables are being packed here. Rigid plastic packing is also, you might have seen the kino fruits, you might have seen some apple trays, which are having rigid packaging effect. And so what is that, it is having a good kind of durability in terms of you can say in terms of effect from the outside atmosphere, even mechanical shock. So what is that, at the top and bottom heat formed layers are there, so which are called as clam cells. So it is having very good strength. And in terms of cost also it is having a little bit less expensive, and it is available in the different shapes and different design. So protection from the atmosphere is easy and better in this, so it is the best, one of the best packaging material, and it is getting more popularity in day by day. So it is being used to packing the high value horticultural produce, small fruits, berries, mushrooms, and strawberry you might be seeing, yes. So so and it can be easily damaged by crushing it also. So after utilization management is also easy. Now this is the new trend when apples are being packed, and it is what is that, the apples are being washed, rinsed, and stored and graded first, and then waxing is being wax application is there to avoid any kind of interaction with the outside atmosphere. And it will keep it away from the moisture, and it will maintain the firmness of the fruits as well. The wax will also maintain the color and freshness of the apple fruits. So even grapes are being also carried out in that way. So it is about 0.002 grams of wax, or even less than that, is being used over the one apple. So if it can be easily washed out, and computerized packing line being used through after photography of each of the fruits. So the good thing is that it is a very good quality of sorting and grading of the fruits, and weight also. So uniformity will be in the weight also. So as they are being sorted as per the size or weight, so it is very efficient, or very, you can say, high standard packaging conditions, and for the export purpose this is being more properly utilized, right? And it will maintain the quality for long distance, and it is being utilized for long distance transportation. After this it can be further put into the wooden secondary packaging boxes, and can be cold stored, and from there it can be transported at the long distance. So this is for this practical today, and in next class we will meet with another topic. So for today this is all, and thanks for this. Go through this slide and video, and after that we will discuss in detail in class. Thanks.